Hey guys, and welcome to a new video on my channel. Today I will let you know some of the best things to do in Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya. You might wonder, why should a white guy that probably has no idea about this city make a video like this? Well, the answer is easy. I lived here in Nairobi for the last month and I had a lot of time to do tons of activities all around the city. So I collected some of my footage and decided to make this video. So if you visit Nairobi, which by the way you really should, then this video will definitely help you a lot. And even if you don't plan to do it, it should be a fun video. Nairobi is actually a pretty special city because it's a huge city with around 5 million people living here, but the altitude of the city is on almost 2,000 meters, which is really high, especially for a major city like this. That means the climate, especially for Africa, is really good. Like, it's never really hotter than 30 degrees, just a little bit sometimes, but also it's never really cold, at least for us Western people. For the local people, it's actually really cold here. It's actually funny, when it's like 18 degrees here, the locals are wearing the winter jackets and I'm walking around in a t-shirt. But let's not lose too much time and jump right into the video, guys. First on is a street art tour of Nairobi with some local artists. Super cool experience. Yeah. Selfie, yes. And next stop, guys, Nairobi National Museum. So time to learn something about the history of the country. The entrance to the museum is 1,500 shilling, which is around $15 right now, and it comes with a combination ticket with a snake park. I honestly don't know what that is, but I guess something with snakes, and I will also check it out. And let's see how it is here in the museum. As you might know, Kenya is home to some amazing safari places all over the country and also home to the Big Five, so it's definitely one of my goals to see them while I'm here, and yeah, I really wish I can. I actually didn't know that, but in this museum from Kenya they have some of the oldest and most important human fossils around the whole world, so that is something I had no idea about, and it's really interesting to see this important part of history. So the National Museum was actually super interesting. I learned a lot about the history of Kenya and also the animals. Obviously, you know, the famous animals like lions or elephants, but there's so many more that I didn't even think about. So a really cool experience that you should definitely do if you're here. And now off to the next stop, a little surprise, the snake park. So guys, the snake park was basically a little zoo, so I don't really like zoos, so I wouldn't really recommend going there, but I didn't know about it. It's right next to the museum, so if you like zoos you can go there. If you don't like them like me, I would probably skip it. But yeah, it's time for the next stop. Next stop, Karura Forest, a little forest area in the middle of Nairobi city, which is pretty cool. The entrance was around 600 shilling for a foreigner that doesn't live here. That's around $6. Whoops! And it's really slippery here, as you just saw, because it was raining the last days. In the area you can do some small trails. I'm now on a trail that is supposed to be 4.5 kilometers. And you can go running, go here with your family, do picnic, all this kinds of stuff. And I just saw deer running around the forest. I hope it will stay with deers and not lions. Oh, another one. That's actually quite cool. And I'm also supposed to find a waterfall in here and caves, so pretty excited to see it. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear it with the GoPro audio, but there's so many birds making sounds. It's so relaxing actually. Guys, it is so slippery here. But eventually I made it to the small waterfall here in the forest. Eventually I also found one of the caves, and interestingly this cave is some million years old, so it already started evolving some million years ago, and people actually lived here for a really long amount of time during history. Nowadays no one lives here anymore except bats that you can unfortunately not see because it's too dark. I can hear them from time to time, but not really see them. The Karura Forest is actually a really cool place, especially as it is inside the city and it doesn't feel at all like you're in a city. It's really crazy, but the only downside is because it was raining. If you go here after it was raining, prepare for your shoes to be completely wasted. Like, it basically looks like I walked into a toilet. I'm lucky because I am wearing my old shoes, so it's not a problem, but please consider that if you're coming here. And just some 100 meters later, I'm next to a huge road right there. Nairobi is a crazy place, but somehow exciting. I will now leave the Karura Forest actually, and if I would have to tell you if it's a good place to go, definitely. It's pure nature inside a huge city, which is super cool, kind of the big parks in the United States or Europe in the cities. So yeah, a really enjoyable place, also with a lot of signs, so it's almost impossible to get lost. There are some rangers along the way that you can even ask questions if you have, and if you're lucky you can spot monkeys or other small animals. So definitely a place you should check out when you're in Nairobi. But guys, it's already time for the next stop. See you there. Next stop, David Sheldrick, Elephant Center. So the David Sheldrick Foundation actually saves orphan elephants all around Kenya and then takes care of them and tries to get them back into the wild. And it was actually super cute to watch them and such a nice experience. You can also adopt an elephant there for $50 a year, I think. And if you do that, you can also visit them on a private session in the afternoon with much less people than I had now. But it's already time for the next stop, which is the Giraffe Center. So they give you a small bag of giraffe food here, which you can feed to them. And yeah, that's about it. It's also a place of the famous Giraffe Manor, I believe, where you pay $500 or more for a night, and actually you can have breakfast and the giraffes are looking inside your breakfast room. It's an NGO, so they try to help the giraffes. I don't really like that there are so many people that can feed the giraffes, but I guess they're trying to do a good job and that's how they can make money. So you always have to think about both sides, but they're trying to do a good cause here. So I found out they actually try to help the endangered Rothschild giraffes, and unfortunately you're allowed to feed them, but you're not allowed to touch them like with your hand, their face. But like always, there's people touching them everywhere just to take the best picture. Big thumbs down for these people, but really cool place. So welcome back to my room here in Nairobi. But guys, we are not finished yet. After I showed you some amazing things to do in Nairobi already, I have two more things that I would like to let you know. First, on the Kibera Slum, which is actually written as Kibera, but the locals call it Kibera, as far as I understood. It's the biggest urban slum in whole Africa, with an estimated people of 400,000 to up to 1.2 million, so a huge range, but there is a lot of people living there. It's not advised to go there alone, even though you could during the day. The slum is quite friendly. I recommend going there with a tour guide. His name is Moses, and I made another video about it, so if you didn't see that yet, you can find it on my channel. Basically, you will visit his home in Kibera. He grew up there and still lives there with his family, and he will show you around the slum, how people are living there, and also some really inspiring projects like the Power Woman group. But I don't want to tell you too much now. If you want to know more about the whole Kibera experience, definitely check out my video, and I can just tell you it's an experience that will open your eyes and is really, really, really interesting. The second activity that I want to recommend you on the things to do in Nairobi is a quite obvious one that probably everybody wants to do when coming here, but you just can't miss it. It's doing a game drive in the Nairobi National Park. If you didn't know it, Nairobi is the only major city in the world that has access to a national park right in the city. What does that mean? You can wake up in the morning at 5 a.m., take an Uber, and you're there in 30 minutes and can see wild animals, almost everything you would like to see: giraffes, zebras, buffaloes, rhinos, lions, even leopards if you're lucky. The only thing you can't see there is elephants, because the area of the Nairobi National Park is not quite big enough for elephants. But if you are in Nairobi, guys, believe me, this is a must do. Even if you go to other safari places like the Masai Mara where I went, I would still go there because it's a really cool experience. Just imagine waking up in the morning from a huge city and just going to a national park like it's nothing. So going to the national park in Nairobi, definitely a must do while you're in Nairobi. But eventually, guys, we're coming to an end of this video. I really, really appreciate that you watched it, and if you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see future videos. If you have been to Nairobi, please also let me know what is your favorite thing to do in Nairobi. Maybe I missed something really exciting and I will do it next time. I already have a list with some more activities that I definitely want to try out if I come back here. But yeah, that's it for today, and I see you guys another day.